Ever since mankind had to fight the most powerful of foes, we've risen to the occasion with fighting robots, and yes, fighting robots are awesome. Especially when they are doppelgangers of another warrior. Like Kiryu, the third MECHAGODZILLA. And Metal Sonic, Dr. Eggman's greatest creation. Which fighting robot is deadlier? Today, we answer that question, and find out who will survive in the arena of death. Let's start with the bigger fighter. In 1954, the impossible happened. Godzilla had been killed. Godzilla has existed in many unique eras: Showa, Heisei, Millennium and Legendary, just to name a few. And most of these eras have introduced their own version of the mechanical doppelganger. Each of these eras also had some of the same bad guys like King Ghidorah. But they also had their own awesome giant robots. Out of all that, the best has to be MECHAGODZILLA. Otherwise known as Kiryu. Built using the skeleton of the original Godzilla, Kiryu is the third MECHAGODZILLA to have been created, in the context of our world. Kiryu was constructed to actually help defend Tokyo from Godzilla, just like the second MECHAGODZILLA before him. Standing 60 meters tall and weighing in at 40,000 tons, Kiryu is taller than the original Godzilla and weighs a ton more. And unlike the two previous models, Kiryu is made some alloy that's probably stronger and lighter than titanium, which actually makes it faster than you'd expect. With thrusters located on its back, Kiryu can fly at least Mach 2.5. But that can be risky if you are not trained to pilot Kiryu, since Godzilla is primarily what Kiryu was made to beat. Kiryu is piloted by noted JSDF technician, Akane Yashiro. Having experience with Godzilla in the past, she was chosen to pilot Kiryu on its very first mission. But Akane bargained a little more than what she signed up for. On Kiryu's very first mission, it went berserk and let loose on Tokyo, failing to respond to Akane's instructions. Despite this, however, Akane was a fearless pilot, and she even managed to climb inside of Kiryu to control him manually. Though to clarify, she doesn't pilot from within Kiryu, instead, she operates from a safe distance within the AC-3 White Heron. But it doesn't matter where she pilots Kiryu from, the mech remains deadly all the same. Considering Kiryu is armed to the teeth with weapons, it's a bold risk Akane was willing to take. Inside Kiryu's mouth are twin Type 90 maser cannons on each of his nifty arms, and he's also got rocket launchers on his shoulders. Man, I would so pilot Kiryu into battle. Additionally, Kiryu can morph its hands into drills, plus a hyper maser cannon and lots of other cannon-type weapons. Aside from a few wire-based abilities that let him latch onto his foes, he doesn't have too many close-range options. Kiryu's twin wrist-mounted blades are devastatingly effective, and can also conduct electricity, increasing its effectiveness against Godzilla's vulnerability to unnatural electrical discharges. But Kiryu's greatest weapon is his biggest risk in a fight, the Absolute Zero Cannon. It fires a ball of energy that flash freezes its target to absolute zero, thereby causing it to disintegrate under the weight of its own mass at the molecular level. But that's as good as it gets. 40% of Kiryu's power is devoted to using this weapon, and if in a prolonged fight, the Absolute Zero Cannon might be the last attack Kiryu uses before he runs out of fuel supply. If he runs out of fuel, both Kiryu and Akane will be in danger. Boomstick. But despite the danger, it's totally worth getting into Kiryu's pilot seat, cause Kiryu is not only a born winner but a damn good one at that. He's capable of holding off Godzilla on multiple occasions, beating him once. He's also killed Space Godzilla and Destoroyah by using the Absolute Zero Cannon. But there's more to this machine than you might expect, since they built Kiryu from the skeleton of the original 1954 Godzilla. Kiryu is susceptible to being possessed by Godzilla's spirit. He'll transcend his robotic nature, and becoming a living, sentient being. Of course, Kiryu has his fair share of weaknesses. He relies on a stable fuel supply to keep him in the fight. Prolonged fights for 2 hours or more will eventually make his fuel supply run out, and of course, the Absolute Zero Cannon will drain that by 40%, almost losing half of his power in a single attack. Overall, Kiryu is an advanced cyborg designed to defend Japan and fight Godzilla. However, it has a limited power supply. Enough of that giant iron reptile, let's talk about an iron hedgehog. Tired of having his schemes foiled by Sonic all the time, Dr. Eggman created a robot meant to be even better than Sonic. The result was a robot that looked like Sonic. This robot was known as Metal Sonic. But before Metal Sonic was the killing machine we know it to be today, it was actually just some robot that liked to kidnap young hedgehogs. After one of his most epic and groundbreaking adventures, Sonic put Metal Sonic in its place for the first time of many. However, unlike the other times, this Metal Sonic was still in its early stages of development. Because, you know, Eggman likes to test out his robots by sending them to fight Sonic, even if the robots aren't complete yet. After many different run-ins with Sonic, and several tweaks to its design and functionality, Eggman succeeded. Enter Metal Sonic, the greatest of Eggman's creations. Metal Sonic gets beaten a lot. However, one should not be fooled by how often he loses to Sonic. Being a robot counterpart to him, Metal Sonic has Sonic's basic abilities, including the homing attack and spin dash. However, it wouldn't be a better version of Sonic if he didn't have some cool abilities of his own. Metal Sonic can also fly, has sharp claws for impaling his foes, a black force field that can block even the strongest of attacks, and even an Iron Man-like chest laser. In addition to this, Metal Sonic's physical abilities are far superior to Sonic's. In addition to being stronger and more durable, Metal Sonic is also much faster, reaching a speed of Mach 5 on average, which is over 5 times faster sound. But by far Metal Sonic's most potent base ability is his scanner, which can be used to copy the abilities of anyone it targets to obtain all of his opponent's abilities. This ability is part of what makes Metal Sonic so dangerous, and the key to Metal Sonic's adaptive abilities. After Eggman upgraded him to a newer form, known as Neo Metal Sonic. This enhanced Metal Sonic's abilities even further, and granted him the ability to shoot lightning out of his hands. But even more impressive, after collecting enough power, he can turn into his ultimate form, Metal Overlord. This other super mode of Metal Sonic's is absolutely gigantic, can lift up large egg fleet battleships with a single hand, and can fire missiles and crystal beams. Oh, and he has flamethrowers on his hands. Metal Overlord can move at speeds faster than light, and possesses the power to even harm Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in their super forms. Most impressively, it can even use the elusive Chaos Control, which is a low-end reality warping ability. And that is the reason he's known as Dr. Eggman's best creation. In his time, Metal Sonic has achieved some very impressive feats. He regularly exchanges blows with Sonic, even though he should realistically wipe the floor with him each time. He is also theoretically capable of wiping out all life on Earth quite casually, or even better, outright destroying the planet. Even Super Sonic couldn't even hurt Metal Overlord. It took the combined efforts of Team Super to take him down, and even then that was a difficult battle for them. This should be a no-brainer given that Metal Sonic is superior to Sonic in every way. Still doesn't save him from getting his robot butt kicked. Sadly, that is one of his downfalls. Even though his power should be tremendous, it doesn't prevent him from losing to Sonic all time. The only true display of power he ever showed was in Sonic Heroes, which was, all things considered, almost a success for Metal Sonic. Speaking of which, perhaps Metal Sonic's most exploitable weakness is its tendency to malfunction. This has happened on occasion, and continues to happen despite being Eggman's greatest creation. However, it should be mentioned that Metal Sonic is truly one of the most terrifying beings to ever face in the entire Sonic universe. Overall, Metal Sonic is Eggman's most dangerous robot. He can copy the abilities of his opponents, but he can overheat and malfunction.
Tear you to pieces. This victory shall soon turn into despair. Chaos Control!
looks like Kiryu has returned to the great beyond. MECHAGODZILLA may have the edge in strength, but Metal Sonic trumped everything else. Even with all that equipment and power under Kiryu's belt, Metal Sonic would be able to copy certain abilities and use them for himself. Plus, it didn't help that Kiryu was a giant, which makes him an easier target to hit. If this was a base form battle, then Kiryu probably would have had a better shot. Both of these robots are capable of reaching super fast speeds. However, Metal is definitely faster, being able to reach the speed of light. Metal Sonic also had the ability to freeze time with chaos control, which Kiryu didn't really have a counter for. His best chance of winning was the Absolute Zero Cannon, but this attack takes almost half of Kiryu's power, and Metal could easily dodge the attack and finish him off. MECHAGODZILLA was a formidable fighter, but Metal Sonic's greater power and speed won the day. It's a good thing Metal didn't let this battle drag on. The winner is Metal Sonic.